Hey everyone, welcome to our week 6 video in our 20-week training to become a director. My name is Megan Schneider and I am the director of the Party Peeps team. Holler to all my Party Peeps out there in the training. And I wanted to get us started this week with our shout out to Lisa Farrell for meeting the recruiting challenge. That's awesome. Way to go, Lisa. Okay, so your job this week is to read Chapter 6. And Chapter 6 is titled Work the Numbers. And there's a little caveat to it that says, believe in everyone and rely on no one. I was thinking about this and kind of my business so far and how people kind of come and go. And the chapter will cover that's not a bad thing necessarily. And it just really emphasizes the fact that we are definitely in a numbers game. I always thought, well, I want quality over quantity. And while I think that still you're looking for quality, you really need quantity. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the highlights that the book suggests in regard to this subject. I have kind of been, I guess I started off thinking, if I could get X number of people on my team, then I'll be made in the shade. It'll be great. It'll be easy to hit numbers every month, and my business will be just what I want. And I've learned that is simply not true. You can never get static. You can never get to a point where you think you're done. You have to always be introducing new people to your business because some people, even though they start off on fire and you think, well, this is going to be my next director, they dwindle. Life happens, personal things happen. You cannot predict the future. So even though you're going to really, just like the thing says, you're going to believe in everyone that you sponsor, and you're going to be there for them, and you're going to try your best to help them really launch a great business, you have to remember that you cannot count on those people for your business. You have to always be looking for new people. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight a couple of the things I found most important from this chapter. You're going to read it all. I think it's an excellent chapter, and it's something I need to work on. So I found it beneficial, and I hope you will. So I'm going to do a little reading. Sorry if it takes away from the camera. But one of the first things I thought is she said, if you don't seize on the opportunity, someone else will. And a personal little story about that is I know someone who is a director on a different team, and she went to a Cincy function. I think it was a convention, and she looked over, and there was one of her closest friends from high school. She was there as a Cincy consultant, and she was not signed up under the friend. And that was like a dagger to her heart, because what that meant was she had not taken the time to share the Cincy business with her friend from high school, but someone else had. And that is a bad feeling, to see someone else who's actually participating, running a Cincy business that you did not personally get the opportunity to support and sponsor. So that's, I think, a really good tip. If you don't do it, someone else is going to. And it may not even be another Cincy person. Maybe there's somebody looking for something, they need a business, but they decide to sign up with a different company. They might have signed up with Cincy if you had decided that they should be presented with that opportunity. So you must offer the business to everyone, because you'll never know who's interested unless you do. And then I liked this. One of the biggest problems with us to keep us from recruiting, sponsoring, is that nobody likes rejection. But she highlighted that the truth is that you're basically rejecting everyone that you don't offer the opportunity to. So when you think of it that way, it kind of helps get over the fear a little bit. Of course, the more people you ask, the more people will say yes. And if you're not hearing a lot of no's, you're playing it too safe. Guilty. So we need to really branch out, know that we're, if we're not creating a need, you're meeting a need. So it's not like you're saying, oh, you need this business. You find out why they would need it, and you meet that need. And I think that's really important. Just a couple other things. You have to put yourself at the best place to meet people, which is parties and presentations and ways to get to people you don't know. That way you'll actually find people that you can give the business opportunity to. And of course, the more people you meet, the more people you'll sponsor. Offer the business to everyone to the best of your ability, and let your prospects decide whether or not to accept or decline. And one little thing on that, a good friend of mine presented at Spring Sprint how she has started thinking about recruiting, like offering a pack of gum. And to me, it was so powerful because I'm so afraid that if I say something, I'm crossing a boundary. They're going to say no. They're going to hate me. They're going to be like, why did you have to pester me with that? But that's really not how people react. They really don't. Most of the time, if they say no, they're flattered. Even it's just not a good time for them. And sometimes they say yes later. And I've personally had that happen where I offered it or said, man, you would be so good at this. It'd be fun to do this together. And they were like, no way, not my thing. No time, don't want to do this, don't want to do parties. And then lo and behold, a couple years later, they signed up and they're building a team and they're doing parties. So I know it happens. But back to the gum. Um, when you take out a pack of gum and you're going to take a piece, you normally, if you're sitting right next to someone, you normally say, want a piece? It might even be a stranger. It might just be someone that you are hanging with, but you offer it because it's the polite thing to do. You aren't thinking, oh, I don't know if I should offer this piece of gum because they might say no or they may hate that kind of gum. You don't think about it. You have something to offer. You don't know if they want it. They might not. They may take it and save it for later, but you offer it. And so someone will take it and chew it right away. Someone will take it but put it in their pocket and save it for later. And some will say no. But you don't feel personally rejected. So I love that analogy. And now as I offer the opportunity, I'm trying to think of it like offering a pack of gum, a piece of gum. So I hope that helps you guys. I think that was really powerful for me. And of course, anytime you're going into a situation, a lunch with a friend, an actual party, even delivering orders, talking to your host, anytime you're getting together with someone, you need to prepare your mind to think, I'm going in and I'm going to come out with 2 prospects to add to my team. So another key point is to make sure you're spending as much time on the business opportunity as you do the products, like talking about what you've got. You can give specific invitations. You can say, I would love for you to do this with me. It would be so much fun. The chapter has a lot of tips on questions you can ask, wordings, and I think they're excellent. And you can actually give a direct invitation that might go something like this, as she suggests. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? You're really exactly the type of person I'm looking for. With your experience, you would be a great asset to my team, and I'd love to help you get started. You know, there's lots of things in there on that. There are some other tips that are shared in the chapter which are really good, so read them all. I'm going to focus on just a couple of my favorite ones, and one was tip number 4, where she suggests to go after successful people, and I've been thinking about this one a lot. A lot of times I shy away if someone's already I perceive them as a really successful business person. Sometimes I play down the business of direct selling in my head and think, oh, they would never want to do that. You know, they've got an important job or a big job. But I personally know people who have left corporate jobs that pay quite a bit of money to do direct sales because the direct sales business, specifically Cincy, has filled voids in their life that they were not getting from that corporate job. So even though they were getting compensated well, it's not always about money for people. And some people need camaraderie and fun trips and things like that you get from a business like a Cincy business. So I thought that was really good to actually find people who are successful, maybe not just because they have a big time job. Maybe they are someone who is an athlete who really knows what it is to have a commitment to a training, people who you know are self-motivated because they will normally succeed because they want to. The other tip I really liked was identifying your best prospects in advance. And especially if you're doing a party, you might, as you're talking to your host, say, hey, who's coming to your party? Is there anybody you think would be really good at this job? Or somebody who wants to stay home with a baby, maybe a teacher who needs a little extra income, and start already identifying who you're going to target. I think that's really important. So she's got a list of some of the people who would be good prospects. I think just being genuine really goes a long way. It may not be the fastest way to build a team, but over time, people really learn to trust you and want to be a part of it because you look like you're having fun, you're genuinely happy with it, and I think that goes a long way. Okay, I also just wanted to give, in addition to reading chapter 6 for homework, I just thought it would be fun if everybody posted their favorite sponsoring story. It could be the most challenging one where you worked on sponsoring someone and trying to get them to join your team and it took them a really long time, or it could be kind of the most out of the blue person you would have ever thought. Or it could just be the most interesting way you approach something. But share one of your recruiting stories that would be kind of nice for everybody to read through. I think it'd be fun to see everybody's top favorite story. So be sure you post that by next Wednesday. And of course, we'll check in on the challenge as well to see who is having the most recruiting conversations by next Wednesday. Okay, well, we come to the close of my portion of kind of what I wanted to highlight from Chapter 6. I hope you enjoy it and it helps you. I hope you find some things beneficial that I shared. But I wanted to issue our challenge for the week. The challenge this week is to post in the next month how many recruiting conversations you're going to have. So basically, you're going to think, okay, in the next month, I want to have, a recruiting conversation every day. So I'm going to have 30 conversations. Or you can be really ambitious and say, I'm going to have 3 a day. And, or you can play it really safe if you want to and say, I'm going to focus on 3 a week. It's really up to you. You want to challenge yourself, though. So I suggest you think, oh, man, I'm going to have a conversation at least once a day. And so it's not the number of recruits, but the number of times that you talk about the business opportunity with a good prospect. And then you just need to keep track of them for the next month. And we'll post your results and kind of keep up with them. And, if it's hard, if you're thinking, well, I'll never be able to keep up with that, just make a little note on your phone. And every time you've engaged the waitress or the checkout clerk at a store or a neighbor or someone on your kid's football team, whatever, whoever, that you've said, hey, have you ever done any direct sales? Or, man, I know you love Cincy. Would you want to join my team? I think you would be so great at it. However you go about it, when you have talked about the business opportunity with someone, notate it, and we'll see who has had the most conversations in a month, and we can also check if you hit your goal. And maybe you'll find you'll have exceeded it and brought a bunch of team members along the way in the next month. That'll help you go far. All right, y'all have a great week, and good luck on week 6.